Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We're back with the boys from Convoy. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we're all three of us are in the lovely state of California, the land of the jumbo loans. So you guys were talking about some exciting jumbo products that you have available and or coming. So I thought we should leave them here just in case anybody is in the market for jumbo products. What do you got?
Yeah. So obviously right now in a market like this, a lot of our jumbo clients are finding that they want higher leverage.
Yes.
Because it's just so expensive, right? 10% down on, $2 million house is, appreciated 2 million, right? It used to be 1.5, now it's 2 because of all the jumps and now people are selling. So, it's just the money has become so much. So now, non-QM being, again, new products every single time as the market changes, coming out with a few new products. The first one is, bank statement and just, purchase loans, up to 95% loan to value on a primary residence.
Wow.
With bank statement. So 5% down, 95% loan to value, up to $2 million on the loan amount. And then up to $4 million, we can do, if you're self-employed, bank statement, potentially do a 10% down, up to 4 million, going to, 90%.
So these are owner occupied in this example.
Correct.
So let's just in case somebody doesn't know what a bank statement loan is, can you kind of lay the pieces out for someone?
Yeah, it's tailored towards self-employed, borrowers, where we know the whole double-edged sword. If you're self-employed, you obviously want to show the least amount of income as possible.
Now, why would you want to do that?
And you can pretty much guarantee that the amount that's being deposited into the bank statement account for that said business is going to be higher than what you're most likely claiming on tax returns. And it just allows a different way for the self-employed, borrowers to get qualified for homes where they wouldn't be if they use tax returns.
So again, just clarifying question. So when you're doing a bank statement loan, you're essentially breaking down the income statement and figuring out how much that business is, I guess I'll say profiting, cash-based profiting. Because again, when you file your tax returns, you have depreciation, all these other things. So you're basically saying, hey, you sell, I don't know, 80 grand of widgets. The widgets cost you 20 grand. You got some overhead, 10 grand. So, bingo, bango, you make 40,000 bucks on your tax return. Given other legal deductions, you may report something substantially less than the 40 grand. That's a very simple example. That
is 100% correct.
And when you say bank statement loans, how many months are we going? Are we going past 3, past 12? What are we doing?
You can get as little as 3 months or as much as 24 months. The more that you show, the better rate you'll get. Right. The bigger snapshot the underwriter can see.
I'm glad you said that. Again, folks, today, if you're following my channel, it's all about locking in 30-year money best rate. So show more, don't hide, show everything. 24 months gives you best rate. Guess what I would show? 24 months. That's just kind of how the party goes. What else can we say about this bank statement program or maybe other kind of jumbo products you have out there?
We're doing a lot recently right now of doing a lot of cross pledging on these jumbo loans. Because
tell me about that.
Yeah, we you go to any big bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, et cetera, any retail bank, right? You're trying to buy a $5 million property, whatever it may be. You're going to be required to put 40, 45, 35 down, right?
Probably, yeah, for sure.
What we have as a way to kind of bridge it, we'll allow a client to put, we closed one last night on an $8 million purchase in Beverly Hills, where essentially the client only put 10% down.
Wow.
And what he did is for that remaining 25%, because the bank wanted 35, he pledged one of his other properties.
Oh, okay.
The other 25%. So it was, essentially one loan that was blanketed over
2 properties.
But it allowed the client to get into a home for $8 million with only $800K cash being taken out of his bank account. Whereas if he went to, Wells Fargo, he would have had maybe 4 mil, 3.5 mil.
Probably.
So it's a lot easier trying to get a home if you're willing to pledge, but it just makes it something that's alternative that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah, the thing that I really just got to make, just everybody needs to know about the non-QM space. This is all non-QM lenders. It is what I call the make sense lenders. If you have a scenario that you want to play out, gamify, reach out, ask. And the other thing about the non-QM space is all the non-QM lenders I hear from, work with, talk to, you all seem to have your little niche, right? You've carved out your corner of non-QM. So what may not make sense for you might make sense for someone else, and vice versa. It's such an exciting space. Again, I think non-QM is bigger at the end of the year than it is now, because you are a make sense lender. It's not, I got to fill out this online application with 100 freaking fields and, hope and pray you get a yes answer. So any other kind of programs you want to talk about as we wrap up this exciting week?
I think just, on the cross, we get a lot of questions on that, because obviously a lot of viewers have hey, can I cross this? Because we've talked about it with some viewers. Hey, can I cross this $300,000 property that I own? And a lot of times, if it's one of those smaller properties, it's going to be a lot harder to cross. There's not as much equity to, to cross, because typically they'll go maybe 65, 70% at most.
Yeah, like they're not going to obviously cross a property that has 20% equity.
Yeah,
of course. It's got to be something that has enough room to make the bank want it.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So, that's just kind of something I wanted to throw out there, make sure that, we almost have a Q&A out there, because I already know that I've had to answer a lot of questions regarding, hey, can I cross this 300,000? I have a $200,000 loan on it. I'm like, sorry, you can't really cross that. There's no equity there. So, just for the viewers, for the community, if we're, before we look at your portfolio, right? So, I don't know, a lot of your viewers already have a schedule of real estate owned.
Probably. They should.
Yeah. If you don't, reach out to us. We're more than happy to send out some templates that, our
nice.
high net worth clients and everyone uses. And, kind of lay it out, see how much equity you have, see, and you might be surprised. I mean, Dion kind of talked about it in his video, but when we talked with him, but he said, he did that scheduled real estate in the personal financial statement, and he was shocked about.
Yeah. It's oh my God, that's a nice number.
Yeah. Right. So, you might be surprised, right? And there might be opportunity that you didn't know existed, and equity is an all-time high. So if you're wanting to look for an investment, and you need the cash or need something to do an investment for, I mean, we have a lot of different programs that can help you out. So just reach out, private client at convoyhomeloans.com, or you can go to our website and fill out our web form on convoyhomeloans.com, and, we can continue the conversation.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you, man. Guys, take care. We'll talk in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.